Hello, St. Pius faithful, Father Russ here, and I'm sure we've all heard, about the movement out there to reopen things, a bit here and there, and our churches, places of worship, are no exception, and you've all heard the comments on both sides of the spectrum here. It's not safe enough to gather for worship. People are saying it is. Well, why don't we get moving with going to church and things like that? And then there, like I said, the other side of the spectrum. People are very worried about gathering for masses and so on and so forth. And I've taken many phone calls from people and tried to reassure them that this is a virus that has no vaccine yet. It is very contagious, and we really need to be careful about that. And here at St. Pius, we are working with very closely with Dr. Doug Wood, who's a godsend for us at this time. And we're working on the plan to reopen for public worship. We are not prepared to do that yet. Okay, so it's not like the bishops. I know they made that statement that next week, open for public masses. We are not ready to do that yet. We want to follow protocol. We will take Dr. Wood's advice on how to do this and how to prepare for it. And you will be notified down the road when the first public mass will take place. But it's not going to be, folks, be careful here. It's not going to be like usual. It's just not. Okay, we have to kind of get in our heads here that this is really going to look different when we reopen for public masses, and we're going to need to educate, follow protocol. People will need, when they come into the church for that first public mass, will need to be directed by ushers and hospitality ministers, and we're not prepared to do that next week. We're just not. We need to work on this. We need to do it right. We need to do it well, and please be patient. And I've been saying all along here with this time that we're in with the virus, God is really speaking to us in a serious way here, and we need to really, like everything has slowed down, and our routines have been broken, and there are some things God is asking us to do. How are we listening to that voice in our life right now? I've asked people, suggested to open the scriptures and to really consider, how God is leading us right now. The Feast of the Ascension is coming up, and Pentecost, the gift of the Holy Spirit. How can we bring that Holy Spirit into our lives right now? God does want to feed us with the Eucharist, but right now, it is so, I am so afraid of contaminating someone or someone contaminating another when it comes to the reception of the Eucharist. And so we really need to be careful here, and I think most people get it, but I know there are some who are antsy. They want to get back to church, they want to receive communion, but we must really be careful with this. And so we are going to be patient here at St. Pius with the staff. We are going to work closely with Dr. Wood, and Dr. Wood will be giving a little video clip here too as well to really explain the seriousness of this virus and what it does and how it is communicated, and we really need to be mindful of those things and be mindful of one another. The CDC is asking us to consider our neighbor at this time. That's why we wear masks, not so that we get infected, so that we don't infect others. And we really need to be careful and mindful of our neighbor, during this time. Beautiful gospel value that we can practice. And so please spend some time in prayer and consider, the seriousness of this and how it's not going to be like normal. We will need to educate. We will need to make sure that protocols are followed with regard to reopening. And so just to let you know, at this time, we are not prepared to do that. We are working on preparing to do that, but we want to make sure that everything is safe and everything is done right. And so please pray for one another, and God bless you during these times.